All right, guys, we'll go with each of you down the line. You three have been here since 2017, which was Coach Mal's very first season. What is your first initial memory that you have of meeting Coach Mal and just being part of the program? And you can go down the line.
My first initial memory with Coach Mal is one thing that he always talks about that I think is important in life is when he kind of called me out when we brought it up one day, and I was looking down, and that's something that you want to take into life as far as making eye contact with someone when they're talking to you. I think that's really important. And also, when I got here with Coach Smith, he made me wear my knee braces all through fall camp. So that's another memory that I'll take with me.
Shoot, probably when he first got hired, he had like the recruits on a visit or whatnot, and I remember me, my dad, and him just talking at the dining room table. You know, everything he said is true. You know, he's a man of his words, and I'm truly appreciative of that. He's not going to BS you. You know, he's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that's the best thing a coach can do. So I know I'm grateful for that. I know these guys are grateful for that.
For me, it's going to go back to senior year coming up for spring practice, and with me and my dad and getting to meet him and just getting to finally meet him at the practice. And he finally met my parents, and like Dante said, he's going to tell you what you need to hear, and guy's never going to lie to you. Whatever he tells you is going to happen, it's going to happen eventually one way or another. So I think for him, just for me, it's the fact he's a man of a word. He's a man of his word is what I'm trying to say.
Well, Jackson, for you, you were a walk-on, came in, didn't get really much playing time till this year, but you filled a lot of different roles. What has being part of this program really taught you, one, and kind of the second part of that is, what's it been like in your last year to play a meaningful part of the offense?
Just starting off coming in, for me, it was really learning to buy in with what Coach Mal and all the coaches are trying to teach. And I feel like I did that. He told me my freshman year he wanted to reward me after the season. And I just got to keep grinding and keep doing what he's telling me to do. And I just stuck with it, and I bought into what he had to tell me. And it finally happened right after COVID, or right before COVID happened. And then just, finally getting to play this year and getting meaningful reps. I got a little bit of playing time last year, and then actually getting to go on the field and start this year in all 11 games, it's meant a lot to me because I feel like I've been able to show all the young guys who might be struggling with whatever's going on with them right now that as long as you buy in and listen to what the coaches say and do what they want you to do, it's going to work out for you in the long run.
Dante, for you, you got many records that you can point to and hold on to, but outside of the records, outside of what you've done on the field, what most are you going to hold on to about your time here?
Shoot, just being around the guys in the locker room, the coaching staff, when I first got here, everybody took me in as family. I didn't know what I was going to come into, as a little 17, 18-year-old boy. The guys brought me in, and it was true family. So you can take away the records, the wins, but it's a true family here, and I'm forever grateful for everyone that's been a part of my life since I stepped on campus. They've been with me through my highs and lows, so I'm truly grateful for that.
What was it like when I reposted your freshman year highlights the other day when you go back and you look and you're a physical specimen now, maybe not so much in 2017.
Nah, definitely. My first thought was, wow, that kid's tiny. And I told the guys, I gave a little speech. Coach Mal had the seniors talking throughout the week. And I told the guys, I was going to play my freshman year, but I wasn't physically ready. I told them I was 175 pounds at most, a little boy. I knew I could make plays, but I just knew my body was not ready coming straight out of high school. So I just told him, just work with Coach McManus. I got injured, and I took that year very seriously with Coach McManus, and he got my body right to where it is now. So I'm forever grateful for him.
Chris, you talk so much about Coach Smith. All of you guys do. BOB, Band of Brothers, is what you guys always call yourselves. What's he meant to you in your career here, not just in terms of what you've been able to do on the field in your development, but what he's been for you off of it?
One thing about Coach Smith is he's really caring. He's kind of old school, but the lessons that he has taught me, those are things that I'm going to take with me forever in life. First thing, day one, he had a standard, and from 2017 when I got here all the way up until 2022, that standard has been the same, and guys buy into it. And when we bring guys in and we have that standard, it's easy to put it in place for those guys to follow it.
We talked a lot about your guys' careers before we kind of end on that. Let's just the win over the weekend. Dante and Jackson, we'll start with the offense. Just with Evan coming in, how did you guys feel the offense was able to still remain momentum and stay on the field for as long as you did for about 38 minutes?
Yeah, definitely. Evan is a professional. You know, yeah, he may have got bumped down a little bit in the depth chart, but he's always ready. You know, he's always in his playbook. He's very, very efficient in what he does. You know, he takes his time very seriously. He's always in his notepad. And so when we knew Evan was going to start, I don't think anybody was worried that he wasn't going to get the job done. You know, that's just the type of guy he is. He's a leader on this team. You know, he's an extremely positive person. So we all had confidence in him, and credit to the O-line. You know, I think we ran the ball the most we had this whole season. So our time of possession was really good, and that's credit to the O-line and the running backs.
You know, for Evan to come in and step in the way he did, it really didn't – it wasn't any different than when Kate had to do it for Gavin when Gavin got hurt and vice versa when everybody's had to make a mix. And I think that's the best part about our offense. And it comes down to our coaches keeping us and keeping everybody on the offense ready to play at any time. Evan stepped in. You know, usually you get a new quarterback in. It's different for the O-line, different for the receivers to get used to him. When any one three of those guys steps in, it's always clicking. We don't have to worry about one different thing going wrong. It's the same stuff, and I think that's what's great about Evan and the rest of those guys, and I think that's what led to a big win last weekend.
Defensively, Chris, it's a shutout. That always is going to make the defense smile. What really propelled you guys to perform at that level? Especially, I know after the last couple of weeks, you guys defensively really wanted a better taste in your mouth.
Well, I know that was a good feeling because since I've been here, that's one of few shutouts. So I really think that's a positive thing for these younger guys to go into next season, and it's a positive thing to go into this next game to be able to do what we're coached to do and follow the plan. Good things can happen. And I think during that game, it was like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, and I went up to Coach Wilson and I won a goose egg. Like that's one of few, and that's really something special. And it's hard to shut a team out no matter what.
You guys have been a part of a team that went 0-11 your very first year to nearly making the playoffs the next year. And I say it because you've been a part of a plethora of different teams. When I ask this question, when people know what your record is, may not quite understand why I ask it, but I know Dante and I have talked about it times this year. Out of teams you've been a part of, just how much fun has this team been? And I know the record doesn't add up to a team that's going to keep playing after this weekend, but you guys have made strides this year.
Yeah. The one thing that I like and I take pride in, it's kind of funny, but I get to play the big brother role with these younger guys. And I know that means a lot to them. I really feel comfortable and grateful that they can come up to me and ask me anything and I can be there for them. Because when you're able to do that as a captain, a leader, an older guy, it makes guys tend to want to play harder for you. And like you said, the record may not have meant anything, but I would go back 10 times and play with this team. Because one thing about this team is they're a group of guys that are willing to fight no matter what. And it's never quit. It was never any quitting in this team.
Yeah, most definitely. Like Chris said, you know, I love this team. We've been a part of a few different teams since we've been here, but this has to go down as one of the top teams that I've most enjoyed. I really enjoyed this last year with these guys. You know, it's a different feeling when you know everybody's truly bought into the program and truly cares. And that just brings a whole different vibe to my mindset, these guys' mindset, and everybody's mindset. Obviously, we would have liked to bring out more W's, but that wasn't the case, sadly. But these guys never quit. You know, we always came back to work every single day. And like Chris said, I think playing that big brother role has a huge part into that. You know, we always try to look out for the underclassmen because that's what I would want people to do for me. You know, these guys are coming in from their families. They're away from their families for the first time, so it's like they don't know what they're getting into. So I think that was a big step for us to like make sure everybody's close with each other because it can really go a long way.
Reiterating on everything they've said, the fact that we don't quit this year When we get down bad, or when things are going good, everybody's attitude is the same. Everybody's locked in. Everybody's ready to go at any time. And like what they brought up with the big brother role, finally in my 6th year, I've always had a couple guys over me and older than me, and I feel like last year I was a bit of a leader. Now this year, definitely a leader. It's always nice to see and get guys learning from you so they can continue the like tradition and what's expected of everybody, because it's always the expectations position, especially at the O-line spot and at the D-line spot. But then what everybody else has said, just the fact that we don't quit and just everybody's bought in. It's nice to see that's going to keep going on after this year.
I really don't think you guys have to answer this because we all know what your answers will be, but what would it mean on Saturday mean? Knowing it is your last time that you'll play on this field, it'll be the last time you walk into that locker room. What would it mean just to walk out there one more time with one more win?
Shoot, for me, this is one of the biggest wins that I want. Just because I know it's my last time putting on this uniform, you know. It's been a long ride, a lot of ups and downs, you know, but I can confidently say I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this program. So I just want to go out a winner. I know these guys want to go out a winner. And like we've said all along, it's not just for us, you know, it's for these guys in the locker room that are underclassmen. We want to send them into the offseason on a positive note because we know how big coming off a win at the end of the season can do for summer workouts and whatnot. So, you know, it would mean everything for us, but it's not going to be easy. We know we're going to have to play our best ball to beat them.
Agree with that. You said it best.
I don't think I could top that one.
You said it best.
Well, I'll ask you one more. This isn't for Dante, but there's only been 2 guys here that have been unanimous team captains. Jonas Griffith being one, Dante being the other. Chris and Jackson, I know he's sitting next to you in between you, so be careful what you say. But how would you describe just Dante's leadership and how that's impacted this team this year, and why you guys hopefully can see him go on and continue to do great things after ISU?
When I think of Dante, I think of a tough guy. No matter what, it could be any little thing. It's hard to get him off the field. Even if he's one of those guys, if you tell him, okay, you can take this day, we'll rest you. You need to get some rest, be ready for game day. He still wants to be out there on the field because it's a standard and an expectation, and he wants to lead by example so that the younger guys can follow.
For me, like Chris saying, on the field, off the field is what I really have seen Dante in, you know, in the weight room, workouts and everything. I've never seen him waver. He's always a guy that, you know, he's going to challenge himself, and if he sees somebody, myself included, a couple times in the weight room, he's going to come at you, he's going to challenge you. He's not going to want you to back down from anything, and he's going to want you to challenge yourself to get better. And I think for me, that's the most important thing he's done to show me and the rest of the team is his unwavering ability to challenge himself and others.
And then Dante, I know it isn't about this. It's about the team winning, closing out the year on a positive note. But what would it mean for you personally if you can keep your football career going after you're done here on Saturday?
Definitely, you know, I've been playing football my whole life, you know. I've been overlooked my whole life too. So I think I've done a pretty good job here during my career, and I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program, into this team, into this football game. So it would mean everything to me. But I know football isn't the only thing that I want to be known for. Obviously, that is my goal, is to reach that next level, and I'm going to do everything I can to do that. And I'm just going to take it day by day, live in the moment. I know God has a plan for me, and I just got to trust it and believe it, and we'll see what happens.